Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again to test the collective wisdom of the group. We don't have high expectations looking out over the room, but we'll give it our best shot.
We're ready, Brad.
We're ready. Okay, there you go. There you go. As I'm sure most of you are aware, we went from summer to fall last week. And I'm sure either you have said or someone has said to you, boy, the days sure are getting shorter, aren't they? So, how short are they? How long is sunrise to sunset on September 29, 2025?
About 11 hours and 12 minutes. 12
Well,
hours even.
In between that,
Yeah, it'd be about 11 hours and 47 minutes.
that's just a tad low.
11 hours and 53 minutes.
That's a tad high. 12 hours at 5 less. 11:51, 47 is too hot, too low. 11:53 is too high. That's the administrator math. Is that what that is? Mike, would you back him up on that, or?
I got it.
Okay, there you go.
So we're good.
What did we say?
Make the numbers right.
11 hours and 51 minutes. Sunrise is when?
7:06. 7:12.
Later. How many of you were up to see the sunrise this morning? Your own fault. 7:18. And when is sunset going to be? Do the math. How quickly can you do it in your head? Ding, 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 ding.
7:23.
Close enough, and no cigars. Last light is sunset is 7:10. Okay, so then which day of the year is the shortest day in Orange City, Iowa?
December 21.
December 21, that's correct. That's good. How long is the daylight on December 21 of 2025?
10 hours and 42 minutes.
Nice guess, but wrong. Too long. That's
10 hours.
too long.
9 hours and 30
What's
minutes.
that, Kyle?
Hours and 47 minutes.
No, close, but not cigar. Too hot, too long.
9:42.
Too long,
9:30.
too long.
8. Wow.
8 is too low.
9:22.
9:22 is too long. I'll
9:03.
push you all out of your misery. 9 hours and 3 minutes. That's good. There you go. Still gonna have to pay though.
All right.
And so then also, what's the longest day of the year?
June 21.
June 20. I heard June 20.
Depends on the year.
And how long is it?
13 hours.
15 hours and 27 minutes.
Well, for margin of error, we'll let him have it. It's 15 hours and 25 minutes. Not bad. I'm kind of curious what you do all day if you know that. Pony up, guys.
I think I might be another bad one. Well,
You're good for a few weeks.
I don't look that way, but that's what I go by. I just don't go to a good cause. There you go, Brad.
Thanks, Dave.
That's early for October.
Gentlemen over here, all over there. Pool of funds here.
Bill's still there.
See, Cheryl.
I think they got the day off.
Here you go. Okay, thank you. And I certainly don't forget about Dale.
Oh, don't forget mine.
Absolutely not. Okay. I'm gonna ring the bell.
Oh, we need a joke first.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. We have to do a joke first. Dale, do you have a joke? Jack's got the joke. Okay. Sorry. You guys can sit down or you can stand up, whatever you want for Jack's joke. Jack's gonna get a standing ovation today. Here you go, Mike. Or Jack.
you're still doing much better than Jason last week anyway, so don't
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get
So far, so good, anyway. There's still time.
One time I got sick and landed in the hospital. There was one nurse that just drove me crazy. Every time she came in, she would talk to me like I was a little child. She would say in a patronizing tone of voice, "How are we doing this morning?" Or, "Are we ready for a bath?" Or, "Are we hungry?" I'd had enough of this particular nurse. One day at breakfast, I took the apple juice off the tray and put it in my bedside stand. Later, I was given a urine sample bottle to fill, so you know where the juice went. The nurse came in a while later, picked up the urine sample bottle and looked at it and said, my, it seems like we're a little cloudy today." At this, I snatched the bottle out of her hand, popped the top off, gulped it down, saying, "Well, run it through again. Maybe I can filter it better this time." Thanks, Jack.
On that note, Dwayne,
Country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside let freedom ring. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, as we come to you this day, we just enjoyed a good meal. We enjoyed the good fellowship of these men and women in this room. And we live in a great community and in a great country. We're thankful for that. Lots of things happen that we don't understand. And those are tough. Michigan, or whether it's worldwide, there are lots of things that we look at and say, hey, what can we do about it? Well, we turn it over to you. You know all the answers. You care about us. You love us. Help us share that love with others. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thanks, Dave. I don't believe we have guests today, so we'll go to school reports. You're up first,
All
sir.
right. We have a short week this week. We have our Heartland break, which means the teachers get to do a little training and some school on Thursday and Friday. Before that, we have a volleyball against Rock Valley tomorrow night. So far this year, the 7th graders have been doing pretty good. They're winning a little bit more than the 8th graders. They're not doing so well. Last week, they played Sioux Center. The 7th graders won one, the 8th graders lost. And they also played Sheldon. 7th graders won, 8th graders lost. So that's kind of how it goes. And junior nights football, they played Spirit Lake, I think, last week and did not do so well. But they're a tough team. But other than that, we have our See at the Pole last week. That was a kind of nationwide thing. We all gathered outside the flagpole and did praying and things like that. And that was a lot of fun also. So what's going on?
Hi, Dave. Tell us what's going on in Northwestern.
Yeah, lots of stuff. I'm gonna leave football till last because we have some comments about that. The volleyball team, however, beat St. Mary's recently. They've been winning practically all their matches. They're 14-3, 6-0 in the conference. And if you want to see them play, they're home Friday night against Hastings. That's at 7:30. Then, as far as men's golf is concerned, on the 13th and 14th, remember I talked about that a couple weeks ago. They did very well. They were 3rd out of 21, and that was at Silvis. You know, that's where they play that pro tournament in the spring. So they did very well down there. Then the women also did pretty well as far as Sioux City was concerned. They came in 3rd out of 7, and that was at Mount Marty. They're going to be at Sioux City on October 6th. Now soccer. Men's soccer, this is probably the best start for our soccer teams in Northwestern, for both of them, for quite a while. The men are doing very well, 7-1-1, 2-0 in the conference. And the women are 6-2-1, 2-0-1 in the conference. Both of them play this weekend against Dakota Wesley. That's October 1. They play to go to West, October 4, they play Mount Marty, and that's both the men and the women. The men start at 5, the women start at 7:30. One other thing I'd say before I get to football, and that is, I hope you noticed, I think they announced it at the football game the other night, Chris Corber and Becca Hurley, both going into the NAIA Hall of Fame, which is something else, you know, for those. If you see Chris, well, you won't see Becca, she'll probably be back for a basketball game, but she lives down in the Des Moines area. But what a great honor for Chris, and well deserved. Now football. Ah yes, well, it was a tremendous crowd, it was exciting, and of course, after beating Dordt 18 times straight, we lost. Now, you know, I don't like the Cubs. And in 2015, they won the World Series. It took them 108 years. I hope it's going to take another 18 for Dordt to beat. I won't see that. Anyway, it was a great game. Dordt deserved the win, and we congratulate them. This week is homecoming at Northwestern, and so there'll be lots of stuff going on. And we play Doane, and usually they move that a little bit back, maybe 1:30 or so. Check your time. I'm not sure exactly what time it is, but play Doane Saturday afternoon for homecoming. I think that wraps it up.
We're not gonna go underneath the pretty lights for homecoming?
No, I don't know.
All right.
Thanks, Lion Dave. Lion Mike, tell us what's going on in MOC Floyd Valley, please.
MOC Floyd Valley, we got several things going on. Last week, our volleyball team went to Boyden Hall. Our volleyball team's had a ton of injuries, several ACLs, an appendix that came out last week for another one of our gals. And I think they're down 5 players who would be playing at this time. So tons of kids stepping in and filling different roles. They defeated Boyden Hall at Boyden Hall and then went to Sioux Falls, played at the Pentagon, and won their pool at the Pentagon against teams we don't normally see. So really good week for them. And they play Unity on Thursday night over there in a conference matchup, and should be a fun night of volleyball on Thursday night. Tonight, our freshman and JV football teams go to Boyden Hall, Rock Valley. That game starts at 4:30 over there because it's homecoming week over there, so they have some other activities tonight as well, so it'll start a little early. Tomorrow, we have middle school football. 7th graders are in Sioux Center, 8th graders are home. That starts at 4:15 if you're interested in that. Cross country will run at Hull at Rolling Hills Golf Course on Tuesday afternoon. Both middle school, JV, and varsity are all participating there. Volleyball I talked about. Football, we hosted Algona on Friday night. A very, very entertaining game, very physical game. We came out on the right side of that 14-13. That was a great win over the number 6 ranked team in Class 3A. So we are rewarded with the opportunity to play Sioux City Heelan at their homecoming down in Sioux City. And depending on what poll you look at, they're anywhere from either the 2nd or 3rd rated team in the state. So it should be a fun night of football. Our band participated at Star Fest in Sioux City on Saturday. They won that competition by 5 points, which in the band world, that's a blowout, and performed extremely well. If you haven't seen their show, come out one of the home football games or to the DFC, which is coming up in 2 weeks. It's a great performance, 137 kids all working together for something really cool. This week they go to Bands of America competition, which is a very prestigious competition. They're going to Waukee, and we are the smallest school at that competition. So our hope is to make the finals. The top 10 bands make the finals there. We've made the finals the last couple of years. It'll be really interesting to see if we make the finals this year because of the caliber of bands they bring in from Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, all over the place. It's unbelievable. So what's going on with the band program is really positive, and we're really excited about that. We had some test scores come out. All of our buildings performed at the highest level they've ever performed at within this type of the ISASP testing. It's a one and done test. I don't put a ton of stock in it, but we did perform very well in that, so that's cool to see. And then as a part of homecoming, Grant Hagstead, our assistant principal, CAPS coordinator, football coach, he is going to receive a Distinguished Young Alumni Award. So I'm happy for Grant, and what he does for our system. So that's what's going on at MLC Foot Out. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Now we'll, I think we're ready for speaker introduction, Dale. It's all yours.
First off, me and Dave have had a busy morning. We went up to West Line, we've never been there before, to take pictures of their eyes. Some of you don't know this, but last year we did 125 kids. This morning we did 50. And me and Jack are going back tomorrow to do another 25. So we're gonna have a lot of kids this year that we're gonna see. So with that, I have Cheryl Buntsma, Michael Smith here. They're gonna talk about drugs. What I'm gonna do is kind of look around and see if anybody tries to leave real quick. Okay, welcome them.
Hello, Michael Smith, and for Rosecrance Jackson Centers, I'm a prevention specialist. Been doing it for almost 2 years now, and I'm having a great time, and I get to go around and meet a lot of interesting and unique people in the community. So I know some of you in here, and you probably all know me. So I'm gonna turn it over to Cheryl, and let Cheryl get our presentation started.
I've been working in prevention for quite a while now, about 10 years. I did teach a lot of years in elementary school and throughout college as well. But I hurt my back, I couldn't keep up, so I'd be on the injured list as well, and I got into prevention, substance abuse problem gambling prevention, and currently working for Rosecrance Jackson Centers. And so, Michael, you want to come up and we'll see if we can show the slide presentation. And we focus in on specific topics related to our, maybe more. Michael's relatively new, and so just such a wonderful opportunity to be able to work with him as he is getting used to all the things that we do. We kind of wear a lot of hats, and as you know, with drugs and alcohol, it's kind of like whack-a-mole, right? Just as soon as you know information about one drug or one topic, things change. And so we're always looking at different ways that we can get that information out, because we are prevention specialists. So we want to give you a little information on some of the things that are happening. And so I'm just going to be going quite fast through these things. Now, we're prevention specialists, so we don't do anything that's related to counseling or therapy. But if you know anything about Rosecrance Jackson, and you'll see a handout on your table too about the therapy umbrella that Rosecrance does. It's actually 3 states are part of the Rosecrance umbrella, and Rosecrance Jackson fits under there. And you might know of Jackson Recovery Centers in Sioux City. That's been there for over 30 years. So those 2 companies merged, and so now we have a variety of different counties that we're working in here in Iowa that you'll see on that paper. And then Cassie Sitzman is our lead therapist. And so we do a variety of different things in the therapy realm for specific substance abuse and problem gambling. So these are the counties that we work in. Michael and I actually share 9 counties. So we're zipping around all over doing a variety of different things, which I'll tell you about soon. I just wanted to showcase the adolescents and teen services that we do have. I think this is really key, and really want to make sure everybody knows about that. So we do serve, of course, the adult population, but we have a beautiful facility and schooling for those kiddos who need inpatient care. And so they're able to get that at our Sioux City main campus. And then we have lots of adult services, as you can see, halfway houses. We have even residence for women and children, or women with children, and then also a women's unit. So that's what that facility looks like. And these are down in Sioux City. Sanctuary, and then this is that same picture again about our adolescents. And so this is where Michael and I work, and some of these counties Michael is going to be lead in, and some of these counties we share, like Sioux County, and then some counties I work in. We have 2 different grants. One is related to substance use and also gaming and gambling. And then I work in 3 of the counties, Emmett, Clay, and Dickinson, with those topics as well as tobacco. So this is kind of what we do in a nutshell. Michael, do you want to mention about our youth and diversion program? I don't know where he...
I'm right here. I'm just standing back. Yeah, so we get a large variety of, we get adolescents, we also get adults that we teach. We educate a lot with the Prime for Life curriculum, which is an evidence-based program that we have to get certified in to be able to teach, to be able to instruct in these classes. And one of our classes that we do is an adolescence diversion class, which is kind of a pre-treatment program. We go into details on the outcomes of alcohol and drug use, the health side of it, and also the physical side of it. You know, being able to end up like overdosing or anything like that nature, getting in trouble with the law, that would be a physical outcome. Losing your license, being suspended, that's an outcome. But we also look at the physical contact, which is also the aspects of like your health, your perhaps injuries, your unplanned pregnancies, you know, for overuse of alcohol. And so we look at a lot of that, and we get referred from, we get students that referred from, like might possibly get in trouble in school with marijuana or alcohol, and they have to sit through a program, which is a 3-day, 9-hour program that we use, and the students have to send us in a paragraph of what they've learned, what we covered over the last couple of days, just to show that they were paying attention. We have books for them to follow along, which we're doing, and so they just send us a paragraph of what they learned, and if it looks good to us, we send them a certificate, and hopefully they get whatever happened gets dismissed. And we also teach driver's ed class. I always tell the students that this is one of the most important times in your life where you're going to get this little card that's going to say you're able to drive. We want to make sure that you have a lifelong use of this card, not get it taken away because of some high-risk choices that you might stumble in and get peer pressured in, get behind the wheel. So we always get asked by the people that teach driver's ed classes to come and teach, because it's very important. And like I said, it's all of these choices that we have are biology plus choices equal outcomes, and these outcomes can be low risk, which is stay home on a Friday night, or make a high risk or go out on a Friday night and see whatever that might end up to. So
yeah, so a variety of different classes. We can do 1-hour presentations too. The diversion classes could also include those youth that are navigating the court system. And so that keeps us pretty busy. Of course, 9 counties, a lot of schools in our area, which is wonderful because it is all about getting information out into the hands of our public so that they can share that information with anyone to help prevent problems from happening. We'll take a quick look at some data in just a minute. But our adults, we do the OWI classes, which have been very, very interesting. And we do this kind of on a monthly basis. So these are our adults. But unfortunately, we already have seen quite a few 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds in an adult, which we would say 21 and older. So these people have lost their license. They have had some kind of impairment, which includes the law. And if somebody is under the age of 21, the reason they're put into into this more adult class is because they have 1 or 2 citations already. So very much a concern for us to get the prevention information out there to our public, so hopefully we can deter and keep people from losing their license or having any other type of health issue related to drugs or alcohol. So we do lots of different presentations, and then one of the things that we're doing with our current grant is we get in contact with the different businesses that have a Iowa lottery license. So anywhere you see the lotto and Iowa lotto information and that sort of thing, we can go in there and talk to them and give them resources in hopes that they put some information out to the public in regards to the risk of gaming and gambling issues and dependency. We also can do trainings related to alcohol, marijuana, and or gaming and gambling. So, why is our work so important? Well, this is what we're seeing at Rosecrance Jackson. That means just our Iowa data. And you see we are serving over 5,000 people. And this was in the years up to date. So we're not even up to December yet. But you see we are seeing a lot of individuals. So what's the number one reason why we're seeing people? Who can tell? Mental health, right. And so we can help individuals that have a mental health issue, and this in turn will possibly be connected to any of the substances you see here. Second main reason we see is alcohol, followed by cannabis. And do you think that our youth are using more alcohol today or less alcohol? Less alcohol. Very correct on that. What are they using? What are they turning to? What's the number one? Marijuana. Marijuana, even though it's illegal again for those under 21, and of course, state of Iowa, you really only can have a product that is mainly CBD in its combination of different products that are in it. It's just not going to be CBD. It has other byproducts as well. So those are the main things: alcohol, cannabis, opioids, and stimulants, which we were just talking up in Lyon County, and Parent Partners is a wonderful organization that really brings people that have navigated drugs and or alcohol and lived in that world. They get into recovery, and then they in turn can help others through that process. And really in the world of DHS, it means getting their children back because they may have been court ordered because of their drug use. So she was talking about, I had asked her, well, what's the main product that you see? What's the main drug of choice out there for the adult population? I was surprised she didn't say meth. She says cocaine. And that kind of makes sense because even meth and cocaine and all of our opioids are so well and easily manufactured and or distributed in our communities that it brings down the price. So affordable, whereas cocaine was out of the reach of almost everyone. But now, because it is more available, that decreases its price. Opioids the same way. Here is a variety of different data that I think is really interesting. Nicotine pouches. How many of you have heard of Zen? Zens. You might see it advertised at almost every gas station. What Zens is just a little pouch, so it's chewless tobacco, so it's a little pouch. And they have designed that product to be highly addictive. Now, nicotine happens to have the lowest threshold of addiction of all of the drugs out there. So after one cigarette, some people already are cueing that brain to want the next cigarette. And very soon they become addicted to it. Well, there's a salts chemical in the Zen product that makes it extremely addictive and also makes the alveoli in the lungs be able to capture more of that nicotine. And that nicotine is that chemical that is addictive. And so we know with alcohol, we're not the alcohol police, by the way. We are really wanting to focus in on the risks of it. How does it, and what is the impact in our communities? And this is in the United States, $249 billion are spent just in healthcare costs alone related to alcohol, and of course with businesses and workforce and that sort of thing too. You see that I have that little point underneath, playing a role in 25% of suicides, 40% of violent crimes, incarcerations in workplace, and so on. So really important for us to work with businesses and employees to educate them on what is considered low risk if they choose to imbibe in an alcoholic product. And then marijuana. This is some data. It goes back to 2018. Iowa Youth Surveys, it's been in the glitch a little bit in that, and we're not getting as many schools contributing to it. So that's why when you go on the Iowa Health and Human Services website, you'll see the information going back to 2018. But you see that, yes, indeed, the kids are using marijuana, and at a very young age. So there's our 11th graders at 11%. I do a specific presentation on the risks of alcohol and marijuana on the fetus and the growing child, which I think is really important, because when there is use of any of these products or any other drug, it affects their learning, it affects their behaviors for a lifetime. And I had the wonderful opportunity to work 16 years in Orange City Christian School, and you get a myriad of different behaviors. You don't know why, but the beauty of being able to work with them and encourage them and help them through. And some might have been exposure, and being able to help them, because it's not a disciplinary problem, it's a learning problem. The behavior domains, neurocognitive abilities are much more difficult for them. So I had an outdoor club, and we did activities every month. I didn't realize just how important that was, because it gave kids an opportunity then to learn, but in a different environment. This is our other, so we have substances that I showed you in the previous slide, and then now you see all of the different counties that we work in and how much is spent on lottery alone. This is just those lottery tickets. I'd say scratch-offs are really also very much a type of sales. And of course, we all know that gaming and internet gaming and gambling is so prevalent right now. You can't turn the radio on if you're listening to a sporting event without almost every break is going to include some company that is promoting gambling. And so this was kind of startling to me when I saw this, of how many millions of dollars are spent just in northwest Iowa. And is gaming and gambling wrong? No. It is, though, something that can lead to some high-risk choices. And so we need to really have anybody that's junior high and above learning about what is responsible gaming, and then what's the pathway? What are the different characteristics that happen when people do move into addiction. If we showed them the red flags, whether it's alcohol, marijuana, or gaming and gambling, if they knew the red flags, we would hope that they would not continue to move down that pathway. But we know, just like with alcohol, there are many different products out there. And of course, the alcohol companies want to make sure that there's at least one alcohol product that you will like its taste. So can I ask you all, which one has the most alcohol? Which one of those drinks has the most alcohol, do you think?
Same.
That's right, they are the same. It's kind of a trick question there, but you see that it's a very small amount actually is a standard drink. So individuals that wanted to study the science of addiction, they wanted to also build in a low-risk guideline. So if somebody is of legal age and healthy and not pregnant or breastfeeding, what would be a low-risk amount? So from that, they determined, first off, that they needed to make sure that they had a specific standard drink. So this is considered a standard drink. You know, with our beers nowadays, are they all 5% out there? It's really interesting. If you are interested in this sort of thing, we have so many microbrews and microbreweries now. So it's not uncommon at a microbrew, the bigger ones anyway, they're going to be selling maybe a 12-ounce can of beer, but it'll have 11% alcohol in it. So it is above one standard drink. Okay, so you see also with alcohol, not everything is 80 proof, right? Some are much higher than 80 proof or 40%. Oh, I did that on my own. I'm going to pop this back on. Should show up. There we go. And so the definition of the standard drink, you quickly saw there the different types of alcoholic beverages, and then what we want people to do then is to know what is low risk. Now this is, according to the curriculum, the Prevention Research Institute that we teach, they say 0, 1, 2, or 3 standard drinks on any given day, not daily, for the 0, 1, 2, and 3 on any one day. So their total is 14 in 1 week. But you can't save it up for the weekend or anything like that. But how long does alcohol stay in our system? If we had one standard drink, we're all human, and it is an hour, that's right. How long does marijuana, THC, the mind-altering addictive chemical, how long does that stay in the system? 30 days, right. So this is really important because we get a lot of people that come into the OWI, DWI class or possession class because they tested positive for a drug test. They had marijuana in their system. They had no idea that it would stay and be detectable for as much as 30 days. Any CDL licensed individual who works for a company is always going to have random drug tests. And many of those had no idea. And unfortunately, we even have products out there that say there's no THC in it, but actually it will detect the THC and they'll test positive. Because the companies don't want to reveal it, they just name it something else. It could, it's not usually Delta 10, Delta 9, and those sorts of things, but that's kind of gives you an idea that people have to be so careful and not consume THC, and even be careful if they do have a registration card in the state of Iowa that gives them opportunity to find a provider and then a location. But in Mary's down in Sioux City, is the place where they can get a CBD product, but they have to have that card. So getting back to alcohol, that's why it says no more than 1 standard drink per hour. And so, because they don't want to raise your blood alcohol level, right? Because what's the legal limit in Iowa? 0.08. And so this helps so that the tolerance level doesn't increase. When tolerance level increases, that's a red flag. It means that the individual's moving closer to dependency upon alcohol, whatever product they choose. What I like to say, because when I say 14 standard drinks in 1 week is for males and 7 for females in 1 week, to me that's already a red flag, because it's kind of building on that consistency or always including it if there's that much alcohol or that much focus on it. So what I usually say is, and it might be a little difficult because there's a lot of years between now your age and when you were 21, but if you ever consumed an alcoholic product from 21 years of age or the first time you consumed it to now, think back of what your tolerance level was back then. That's your initial tolerance level. And I always emphasize that you should never consume past your tolerance level. Because just like with hot, spicy food, you can handle a little bit more. And you become less sensitive to smaller amounts. So it might take a little bit more the next time, or maybe a month later, if you've been consuming and moving that tolerance level up to feel the effects of it. And so if people are looking for that change in personality or the effects of the alcohol, because we get used to it or less sensitive, that is what pushes that tolerance level up. So I always like to have people think about what their initial tolerance level is, and it could be that they've moved it way up from that time, and then of course that's where counselors, therapists can visit with them about those things and stepping back. And so never consuming past tolerance levels. So even though we have these guidelines, we want people to personalize the information, because what is good for one individual is definitely not the best for others. So individual tolerance levels, really important to know, and then to understand what is the strength of the alcoholic beverage that I'm consuming. And so you see here, these people, that's more than 1 standard drink, right? If it's the size of your head, you are consuming more than 1 standard drink, even though it's in 1 goblet. So we want to just get that little information out about the standard size. Right now, Canada came out with their new campaign, and for low risk, they say no alcohol is low risk. That's how costly it is. And then for the United States, health organizations are really looking at pushing back to 1 standard drink for females in a day, no more than 2 on any given day, and for males, 3 standard drinks, no more than 4. And so that's what I'm going to promote, as well as never drinking past tolerance level, because that's when people are already impaired mentally. It's already changed the central nervous system as that sedative of alcohol gets into the system. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell, and that's the information that we have for you. And I thank you for your time, and if there are any questions, we're here, and you can ask them now if you don't have to race out and back to work.
Cheryl, I noticed on that one where it showed where all the lotteries were,
Yeah.
and I noticed these Emmett and Lyon have casinos, and their lottery bigs were down lower than the other ones.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
characteristic?
It is because of the casino, and also there, I would say Osceola is the lowest or the smallest county that we have with the least amount of population. So population has a bit of that, and the proximity of those casinos. They like to keep the casinos within 60-mile range because people will travel 60 miles. That's kind of the cutoff point. So that's why if you put a circle around locations of our casinos in Iowa, you'll see it follows that. I wanted to mention one thing, but let me ask you, who do you think is more likely to become addicted, a female or a male, when they consume past the low-risk guidelines, when they're binge drinking or heavy drinking? Who do you think would be more likely to become addicted, male or female?
I'd say female.
Or maybe equal? What was that?
Female.
You are absolutely correct. We have one data slide when we teach. If males are to heavy drink, 49 times chance of addiction. Females, 102 times greater chance of addiction. There is no mystery why we have so many drinks out there, so many different colorful labels, and we've walked right into it because now we've normalized it over the years. I remember the early years being on Northwestern, and there wasn't a bar anywhere in town, and unfortunately back of my hippie band back then said, "Bunch of bozos." Does anybody remember there used to be a bar, I think, maybe in Alton, it was Bozos. So I had to get that off the back of my band ASAP, because boy, that was not gonna fly. But, it's things like that that are safety nets. And so who is the best customer for an alcohol company, or a THC or CBD company, or a vaping company? The person who's addicted, right? They're going to be constantly coming back, buying those products. So they're not going to help us. We've normalized it. We've made it affordable and available. So really, I worked with Thomas Kunzel, to put in an ordinance that is attached to the social post law. We don't want adults and college students who are here that are 21 and older hosting a party for our youth, right? That wouldn't be very good. And so we have, I think it's a $750 fine for the first time somebody is hosting a party for really 20 years of age and younger. And so that's a lot stronger than the original law. So we were able to, I think it's called preempt. I'm looking over, because you know all that stuff with laws and things about when you can make strong ordinances within a city. And actually they adopted it for the whole county. The second time somebody is hosting a party for underage, it's a $1,000 fine. So those sorts of things. I remember Dave in the early years in prevention worked so wonderfully with the Smoke-Free Air Act, which we're so thankful of. And we want to include the vaping as well, because there's over hundreds of different chemicals that are within that vape product that people are exhaling as well. So anyway, any other questions that you have? Let you head out, and we'll